Welcome to yet another big game we're bringing to you. ULTI.TV here at New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships Div 1. What a ripper game we just had. That was fantastic. It's still available for you to watch. Now we have Papapa versus United. I am really looking forward to this match. Our commentators today are Rachel and Zoe. If you are listening to us at the moment, please spread the word. Give the link to your friends, and over to our commentators.
Koto katoa, and welcome to this game at New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships Div 1.
And we are very excited for this upcoming game.
We've had a quick turnaround between this game and the last game running to time cap, and so we've had a little bit of a chance to get ready here in the commentary booth. We have Te Papapa from Auckland, Tamaki Makaurau, and United from Christchurch, Otatahi, in this pool play game. Now they are seed 1 and 2 in their pool, so it should be a tightly contested game.
So we are looking forward to what these teams are going to bring to the field. We have a small breeze starting, bringing a lot of pollen onto the field. So if this little white stuff you see, that is from the trees, giving us a good idea of where the wind is coming from.
We have United coming out on defense on the left-hand side of our screen, and which means Te Papapa will be receiving. United's game also ran to time cap, I believe, their previous game, so they've had to rush over to this field and switch on for this current game. United has been coached this season by Kelsey Bielik, someone who's also commentated quite a few games. She's in the States, unfortunately, at the moment, but I'm sure her team is making her proud, and she will be able to celebrate with them afterwards. So we'll see if teams have adapted to this wind. It's changing by the hour, so teams will need to make sure that they keep in mind that they're going to need to adjust their throws to that.
So
Te Papapa, a new club this year as well, so 2 new teams meeting up. And we have a turn from Yo, just overthrowing his Swinson, his receiver. Swinson, one of 2 Swinsons on this team, siblings, Tessa and Hugo.
And now we have United with a disc. Lewis looking downfield.
Looks like a very flat mark from Bordsworth here. And then Lemon just throws behind his receiver Clark, and Clark is unable to catch that. That's a turn, so we're already a couple turns in, not even as many minutes in.
I think teams are trying to feel each other out, trying to get those throws out early. Looking for the deep shot down the line to Lee, to Yo. Back down to Swinson.
We see Te Papapa being patient with the disc, but being driven to a high stall count. Yo was working in a tiny amount of space there, but still able to hit the disc. McFarlane marking. And there's a little jink down the line for Bordsworth.
United really keeping them tight on that sideline, not letting anything go around.
And again, that dump is working in a very small space. A grab from Yo, but it's being called out by the United side. We have the sideline also close by, so they might be able to give their take on the play. Great grab from Yo, though, if it is considered in. We see the replay now. A very quick call from the United players. Lots of pointing on the sideline, reenacting the play. So we see a matched defense from both teams so far, relying on their legs to get open. Players on the field are now indicating to the filming crew that they want to replay. been quite a long time, this discussion. So it looks like it's going back. Probably a contested out call. Swenson with the disc now. Being marked by Hansen. Still working it down the sideline. The same throw, Yo managing to keep it in this time.
Trying to look it to get it off that sideline and still getting pushed to a score.
And that's Yo to score. Doing a lot of work at that point and managing to finish it off with the help of his team.
So from Vaslit to Yo for the score.
So that is a hold from Papapa. It'll be interesting to see whether there will be as many turns in the upcoming points. Usually the number of turns increases as the game goes on, as fatigue sets in. So we'll see if that holds true for this game as well. So you've played with quite a few of these United players before, haven't you, Zoe?
Yes.
Any insights on their style or on their strategies?
I think they're all quite athletic players, like to move it fast down the field, and really trying to keep possession of that disc. They put a lot of pressure on D, as we have seen, keeping that the Papapa team on that sideline, trapping them, forcing them to throw it, jamming it down the sideline. And another wonderful thing is that they all go together to the line as a team, there to support each other. So now
there's some very creative throwers on the United team as well. People who are able to throw themselves out of a situation if they need to. We have a woman matchup pull coming from Papapa now. That's a downwind pull. The wind is currently going from the left to the right-hand side of our screen. Mance with the disc in the middle, low release to Martin. And then up to Holdaway. With a big hut from Holdaway. Unfortunately, she misread her downfielder's cut, and that's a turn. So now we have a chance. Bender with the disc, who's looking big, but holsters that. And a little bit of contact on that throw from Bender, but the receiver is able to take it in.
Down the line, all the way to
Sun with a big shot to the end zone. And that is a score from 22. That is Matthews. She's able to reel that in despite the defensive pressure from United. Great throw to make it over the defender, right into the hands of his teammate. So that is a
break. It's a break for Papapa.
First break of the game. Lots of game left to play, though. Hopefully this, I'm not sure how long Papapa had between this game and their previous game, but hopefully the quick turnover isn't taking a toll on United. Sun lining up his shot here. Great timing. Making sure that he throws it so that his player can run onto it.
You see some great teammate support here from United and Papapa, with a whole team going to the line. Now,
Rory Moore, the Papapa coach, walking off with his crutch. Also a player, but unable to play at the moment. But he'll be passing on, hopefully, some information for his team on defense.
Papapa are going to chase down that disc, trying to get the defensive pressure on United.
So the far side of the field is kind of the high side at the moment. The wind's also coming towards the camera. Big throw from Lowe. Right into the bread basket. Muldrew with the disc, looking to work it, a little jinky stuff into the end zone.
With a score from
Doyle
to Simard.
That was a close call, that one. Simard, great hands, managing to dig that up out of the ground. Doyle not making it easy for her. We get to see that again. So we see Doyle and Muldrew. Muldrew looking for it back again, but there's an open player. And putting her body on the ground to get that disc. You get to see that score one more time. So open. Too open. We see the team list here for United. Quite a few players. Quite a few players who are coming back from World Championships and also World Masters Championships. So we have United with Clark with the disc waiting to pull. Papapa is almost ready. They haven't signaled their readiness yet. We see Yo with his hand up. Yo probably going to be getting a lot of touches on the disc this game.
It's floating down.
Waller looking downfield. We see match defense here from United. We have Ali with the disc being pushed back into further and further into his end zone. Waller now looking big, looking deep, shooting to Yo. 2 receivers in the area. Amazing bid from Yo. Kicking up a lot of dirt there. Getting his body on the ground. We have Swinson rushing on the field, but there is some talk about whether it was in or not. Leach probably had pretty good perspective on that.
We'll see that again. Big throw.
Lee working really, Yo working really hard to get there. And it looks like one of his hands had contact outside of the end zone.
Just before.
And we have Harrison Leach indicating it is a score.
So they'll be very happy with that. All that effort running down across the field to that big bid to then score. United now will want to come back strong.
Yes, they want to put their O-line on. That was a hold for Papapa. And we now see the team list for Papapa. We have Peter Boardman and Kate Charlesworth, who are actually married, and they now go by the name Boardsworth. So, and we also have more family: Swinson, Tessa, and Hugo Swinson.
We have pretty evenly numbered teams. So they got all the legs, and they're gonna try and use as many of them as possible.
Both really athletic teams. But somewhat of an unknown quantity, both of them. As I said, they're both new teams, so interesting to see if we can get a bit more of an insight into their style. McFarlane signaling readiness, and a pull coming up from Boardsworth.
That nice pull hanging, giving them time to run.
We see a split stack from United, meaning that their downfielders are stacking on either side of the field, leaving a lot of space in the middle. King to receive the under, indicating to her dump that she wants to get out of there again.
McFarlane with a disc to Lewis, looking for that deep option. Back to McFarlane.
A lot of space between the handlers and the downfielders now. United want to make sure that they're not getting too blinkered into just looking for the end zone. They still need to be able to keep the disc alive. Edwards to receive the disc with a good cut, moving her defender. And a big put to Lewis. And he toes that one in. Sun was close on his tail there, hunting for that D. So that is a hold for United.
Now they got the momentum going. They'll want to keep it. And Te Papapa will try to get a hold of it, trying to stop that momentum from going, to then get their own momentum going so they can continue scoring. Here we can see.
You see Edwards moving her defender. Edwards really aware of what side of her body her defenders is on, and making sure that she's cutting towards the space that's not occupied.
And then Lewis being right in the open corner, waiting for that disc.
Great vision from Edwards to see the whole width of the field, not just looking right in front of her. So Te Papapa now coming out on offense. We've got a pull from Mace, one of their captains, from Mance, I should say, from United.
And they will want to come strong on their defense, trying to stop any advance from Te Papapa.
Mance also one of the founders of the United team. Recently played for the New Zealand mixed team Manuka at the World Championships. And we see what might be a little bit of a zone from United now. So we've moved out of match. They have 3 defenders up front, and then the people in the middle of the field, the defenders in the middle of the field, are trying to pick up players as they come into their space. Ali with the disc. He's got a dump behind him. And we see good movement, quick movement from Mace to the far side now with Yo. Big hammer, big hammer. Ooh, and comes out of the hands of the receiver. So that's a turn, and United now has possession of the disc. Farnan with the disc. Looking downfield, holding it for a long time to Mance. We have a vertical, United stacking in the middle of the field. Pick called. Looks like that was called by Vaslit, 96. The disc will go back. So his pursuit of his player was interrupted by other players in the field. Players are just repositioning themselves so that it doesn't happen again. Mance looking for a dump now. United also working in small space for that dump.
Down to Doyle. Cross.
A very open Muldrew. This is a backhand force by Te Papapa. Doyle managing to grab that. It's quite a stretch though. And he just overthrows Farnan. It's a quick turn. Vaslit with the disc now. Yo with no one in front of him. But he is patient with it, swinging to Ali, who sends it high to Ireland, who takes it securely. And a big over the top to her receiver. Lake is her receiver.
And that's how you break a zone, going over the top. Try to put it in, put the pressure, just left that open. Couldn't get anything across, and they were just like, oh, the wind is not strong enough. I can still put that hammer.
Yes, the wind is lifting those hammers nicely, actually. So you need to be able to make sure that you're not coming too close, because it will drift a little further than you think. We see 99 Ireland now taking that high, and wants to score, wants to get it over and done with, sends the hammer up for Lake.
And it's all about finding that space, especially in the end zone. It is a smaller, compressed space. Trying to work around your defender, make your defender move away from you. And then was just open to receive that one.
And importantly, not being in the way of anyone else who is open.
Yes.
Quite often in the end zone, you'll see isolation, so just one offender looking to get the disc. And that way they can make their cut with all the room that they need. Te Papapa getting ready with the pull. Mace looking to pull upwind.
Te Papapa chasing it down.
Holdaway taking the disc too low in the middle. Looks like we're a similar kind of side stacky thing. Muldrew streaking deep, but it's not quite enough. That disc came down really fast, possibly being pushed down by the wind. Just a little bit too much for Muldrew as fast as he is. So we have Bordsworth looking big. We know that Bordsworth likes a long shot to Hugo Swinson. Big swing now to Tan.
Back to Swinson. Looking downfield, Broadsworth.
We see some players on Te Papapa just signaling that they need to organize themselves. And we have a very high take there from Patterson, who is able to put that in at a relatively high stall count. Patterson rewarded that take by being able to score. That is another break for Te Papapa.
That was scored by Matthews. Big throw from Swinson all the way down to the end zone. Big grab from Patterson.
You can see Doyle, a defender, just not being able to make a bid in time. And that's an open side cut from
Matthews.
There's been quite a few high stall throws in this game so far, especially down on that far sideline. We've seen both teams get a little bit clumped up, so we'll see if they can stretch out the field a little bit, give themselves some more space. It has been working mostly, so possibly they don't need more space.
Matthews has scored 2 goals already for Te Papapa, so she's loves the end zone, and that was a break for Te Papapa.
A lot of game left to play, though.
Yeah, it's not over yet. Not over yet.
So this is the 5th game that these teams will have played, so it's pretty tiring running around out there. Hopefully they're able to not let the fatigue creep in. Over the top to Edwards, who sends a long shot to Lemon, who sends a high one up, but able to be secured by Koo, and then to Leach, the big shot for Jessica Chambers, who toes it in. She's got a long stride, and she's a fast runner, and she's able to pull that in. That was a relatively quick hold for United.
They just want to get in and get those scores down early, try and catch up, and then overtake, hopefully, for them. That's what they're aiming for.
Their D-line needs to go to work now, though. Put the mahi in. They'll be wanting to get that a break back. So their work has only just begun, really.
They'll want to use that momentum that they got from that point and go in firing, get the big defense out. And Te Papapa know this, and they will try, and they want it. They still want it. They will not stop.
So score coming in at 5-3 to Te Papapa. Te Papapa have linked up with a sports club in Auckland. So helping to spread ultimate to different groups of people, hopefully. We have Bordsworth signaling his readiness. We have a male matching point majority at this point. And that looks like it's just over the sideline there, so that will be bricked by Yo.
So that means that the disc will come to the brick mark, which is the third way down the field in the center. This helps recenter the first throw.
We see Clark in the middle of the field on defense talking to his players, so it looks like it's going to be a bit of a zone. Big shot up. Ireland with a great read, able to put her body behind that catch. And then low release goes up, but there's a lot of players underneath, and Jessica Chambers is able to take that down. Those 3 United players swooping in and making that really hard for the offender. Chambers is getting to a high stall count. Little lefty out to McFarlane. Back to Chambers again. Chambers getting open unders. Beautiful inside shot. Some good stability from Chambers and a big shot from Clark to looking for Lemon, and takes it with one hand. Doesn't need 2 hands. Only one required.
This is what United wanted. This is what they came here for. So that was a break for United.
So they can enjoy that. They now know what a break feels like in this game.
So
lots of cheers. Lots of people on the field for United. Lemon getting really big for that score. We get to see this huck again.
Big huck from Clark. Nice shape.
Lemon just reading it over his shoulder the whole way with a big jump. Ali not even close. Perhaps Ali thought that he wasn't going to be going up that early for the disc. Ali also good in the air as well. Hopefully we'll be able to see some of that during this game.
Still putting pressure on Lemon. Reminding him that he's still there.
Bringing the score to 4-5, so we're Papapa still up 1 break. We have Luke Doyle on the United instructing his team on the line, so possibly another zone. If he's going to be telling people where to go, it's likely that they're going to be setting something up. So we have a pull from Mance from the high side of the field, and disc is up.
Hanging in right on that sideline.
Luke to Yo to receive the disc. And we see this this zone from United. They are trying to push the disc backwards. It looks like a middle force from the handler marks. But Yo able to push through that line of defenders really well. Edwards coming in but not able to get it. And the shot goes up by Ireland.
Nice, beautiful. Found that space, saw she was open. And that's another score from
Ireland to
Matthews.
Matthews again. Matthews racking up quite a number of stats this game. So we had Edwards, the deep player in the defense from United, coming off trying to get a bid on that second to last throw. Perhaps should have pulled out of that sooner, because he then leaves the player wide open. He was hungry for the disc, but unfortunately wasn't able to close either gap.
I got that connection between Ireland and Matthews. Scored a few points together. Got that on the scoreboard.
Great recognition from Ireland to set up which side was going to be open for that shot, and was able to put it up before. Great indication to the camera there. Camera loves Ireland. She definitely a big highlight player. We've seen from her before. That was just a hold from Te Papapa, so it's going to be a D point for them now. But possibly players just taking it a point at a time.
And I think in these games you do have to take a point at a time, because every point does matter. You don't want to get ahead of yourself. You don't want to get complacent. You just want to keep going.
Big pull from Koo.
Onto the sideline. Hans picks it up.
Sorry, pull from Chang, I should say. Hold away with the disc, faking downfield, looking down the line. Low release to low. We see Doyle with the disc. Martin's dragging those defenders downfield. Good movement to the other side of the field. Looking at just a bit of match here from Te Papapa. Beautiful low release from low. Mance really creative with her throws, but she's being safe, making sure to keep that disc alive for her team.
Keep the possession.
Farnan to Doyle just over the shoulder of Patterson. A little bit of contact, but no calls. And Farnan to score. Excellent score from her. Didn't need a lot of space to make that cut. Was able to just be on the right side of her player.
Slowly working it up, not folding under the pressure, trying to keep it calm, keep the possession to then score.
A good score from United. And unfortunately, sometimes there's not a lot of glory on O-line. You know, your job is to score your point, and if you get that done, it's
you did it right.
I mean, it's it's better than not scoring it, but D-line's got to put the work in now. So we see a couple of players with their jackets on. I believe for United we have one of their players, Adam Chung, was injured in his last game, unable to play, but still partaking in their chat on the sideline, on the line. We see Lowe with a little celebration. A long chat from United here. They're probably going to be setting up their defense as a zone again, as they've been favoring so far. They have been, the zone's being beaten by these hammers, so hopefully they'll be able to adapt to that and make sure that they're matching the downfield a little tighter. And especially making sure that the dangerous players in the end zone, the scoring players, that they're covered first before they make any bids on discs that are further upfield, throws that are further upfield.
Oh, pull from Clark.
Yo to receive the disc to Waller. We've got a defender set. Sorry, we've got a fourth handler and a big shot to Ireland from Waller. Ireland trying to read that disc, but King had the better positioning on that.
Creating a turn for United.
King will be pleased about that, even if you can't tell from looking at her.
Both jump at the same time. King was just right in front of her, right in front of the disc, managing to get hand on it before.
And Lemon's cutting deep, but it's not shot. We've got Edwards with the disc in the middle. Edwards got a great little fake off to send, and then Clark is looking big, looking for Koo. Koo had to go really early and was not able to grab it, but a huge bid from McFarlane. A diving bid into Lemon, and that's a score.
And that is a break for United.
A great point from McFarlane, able to save that, not giving up on the disc, ready to back up his teammate.
Was there, he made it, he was like, I'm gonna get the disc. Here we see it again, big hop.
Koo looking to take it really early, but just over the fingertips. McFarlane popping right back up, quick to go down and quick to get back up again. And then good identifying the open player and throwing the open player into the end zone as well. Great bid there from McFarlane. So that is a break for United. We are now on serve in terms of breaks, 2 apiece. We have United calling a timeout.
This is when teams get together, talk about the game a little bit. It's a short amount of time to compose themselves, take a breath, think about what's going well, and then come out with new energy.
Te Papapa had 4 handlers back that last point. They didn't really make use of that. They sent the big shot up before they had to, but they are trying to adjust to the zone. Hopefully United noticed what they were doing, and they have instructed their defenders at the front of the zone, the handler marks, about what to do about that. We've seen a lot of quite a fair number of jump balls this game, big shots, and having a couple players under the disc. So it's good to see that there hasn't been any issues with contact so far, considering the number of shots that have gone up.
Yeah, it's a reminder that this is a non-contact sport, and we do not want to injure each other. So contact avoidance, collision avoidance is very good, especially at these high-level games with a lot of speed and a lot of bidding.
Yes, these are 2 teams that are going to want to be making a play for the semis and the finals. So a lot on the line here for these guys. These games will dictate how easy their journey to the finals will be. So we have United on D. They're going to be looking for another turn. And Te Papapa have Yo on the field, who's signaling readiness. I imagine the disc will be moved quite a bit by him.
Big pull from Clark.
And also a big pull out of the field from Clark.
But too big.
Being caught by the wind, probably.
Yeah. It is. The wind is present. It's just a slight breeze that just picks up the disc, moves it a little faster. Then teams now have to kind of adjust to this change.
We're seeing something that looks much more like match defense from United. So they are trying to change things up, make sure that they're not letting Te Papapa get used to their defense. We have Peter Bordsworth with the disc, swinging it to Hugo Swinson. And back to Yo. Good movement across the field. But they're a bit stuck now. Swinson trying to jink himself free, just within 2 meters of the of Yo. But a pick is called, and so disc isn't going back, but the player Clark is going to be, or the player is going to be catching up. Ali with the disc, looking downfield right now to Ireland, who has to get on her knees. Hugo Swinson looking big, but holding it back.
Back to Ali, looking for movement downfield, looking for his options. To Ireland.
Back to Ireland again. This match defense by United is making them throw a lot of passes. It's currently a flick force, although you couldn't tell. We've got a couple lefties on the field. Peter Bordsworth with the disc to Ireland.
Working it slowly downfield. United with big pressure defense.
Some big marks from United, some tall players. Ireland likes to score, but not being tempted for the first shot. But on the second look, it's a beautiful floaty pass to Yo, who's able to just run onto it. No. So that's a hold for Te Papapa. So good recognition from Ireland to hold back when it's not open, and then the defender isn't able to cover both sides, and Yo is able to score. So we're creeping closer to half here. The Te Papapa D-line could take half right now if they're able to get a break.
Yeah, they are moving it quickly, trying to move it as quickly as possible downfield, get those short passes through. That's how they try to get through the zone. And then United put a match defense on them. Still managed to do it, trying to lose their defender in the way.
Quite tight on the handlers, on the handler resets. So the good communication between the mark and the handler defender, making sure that they're not leaving too big of a hole. But unfortunately, Leach not able to cover that inside lane. Leach was looking over his right shoulder, and then would have had turned to look over his left shoulder to cover that. So it's a tough ask.
Can't be everywhere at once.
We see Ireland here with Lake. Moods are vibes are good. So United just looking to hold this point. They're heading upwind, but it's a bit gusty. It's picking up a little bit, but most of the time it's been kind of a thrower's wind, a wind that you can sit a disc up in. Although, as I say that, we can feel it brewing a little wilder. Oh, an early bid from Patterson, which puts him a bit out of position, but he's able to get back into the defense, and it looks like they're throwing a zone. So we have 3 people up the front here in a bit of a cup shape.
Mats with a disc. Looking at Doyle.
We've got 2 downfielders holding Sun in the deep, keeping him honest. And a shot from Holdaway to Edwards, who thinks about his throw too fast and isn't able to complete the catch first. A short field for Te Papapa. Sun and Yo just living with the disc, and we have a break throw from Yo to Patterson for half. Yo making that throw look easy. Big celebrations on the field. That's the break.
So at half we have 8-6 to Te Papapa. Going to be United will want to come back after that second half, come back out firing. We'll want to get some more points on that scoreboard.
Yep, they'll be coming out on O, so they'll get a chance. They'll want to get some sugar and water on board and just have them keep mentally preparing for the rest of this game. A lot can happen as people get more and more fatigued. So still a whole half of the game left.
So come back after half.
So enjoy these highlights, and we'll recommence our broadcast once the teams have taken half. Welcome back to the pool play game, the final pool play game of New Zealand mixed Ultimate Championships Div 1. Throwing to Phil now, who's been on the sideline of the field for some insights at half.
Yeah, I was privy to some of the talk from both teams, United and TP. United just really want to, well, actually both teams actually really want to work up their energy. They're both focused and committed on the energy levels, keeping them up. United had a little bit more to say. They want to try and make TP throw a little bit more and get into their heads a little bit more, shut them down. I think the energy from the talk from the United group was a lot higher. TP, the talk was a bit more laid back, but it did still emphasise energy.
It's good to hear both teams are still running hard at this point of the tournament.
And I think they both want to get more points on the score, and they're going to come back with some intensity. Papapa will try not to let their lead go away, so they will want to get more points. And then United are trying to come back and get it back from them.
And we have the pull going up from Papapa, received by Low. So we have some more zone from Papapa. United, not a stranger to zone. They probably like a little bit of zone offense. They've got some players who are, commentators jinx, I managed to say that just as they turned it. Just a little bit of a throw behind the player from Martin.
It's right in the middle as well.
Another short field for Papapa. So we have the people who are marking up on the handlers are kind of trying to push the disc back, create more throws as they discussed trying to do at halftime. Every throw was a chance for a turn. And we have Hugo Swinson right on the sideline, looks for hammer over the top to Patterson, who takes it very easily. Good indication from Patterson that he's open. And Patterson is rewarded with that hammer. Swinson happy to go over the across the whole end zone and over all the players to get to him.
And that was a break for Papapa.
A strong way to start the second half of the game.
They really brought it back. They really wanted it.
So United's gonna think about what they can continue to do. They just a little missed throw. It was a bit of a soft turn by them. Mance was open for the disc, but just a little bit too late.
They have the whole United team walking to
It looked
the
like
line.
Muldrew was trying to help cover the front corner of the end zone there and just left his player too open in the back corner instead. Patterson, an excellent receiver, probably easy to hit as a thrower. You know that he's got some safe hands.
Now United want to try and get back at it. Papapa will try and put a big defense on them, try and slow them down.
We have some calls on the sideline from Papapa for specific plays, I believe. The sideline can really help, especially during longer points. So it's good that we've got a good spread of players on both sides talking to their teammates, especially on defense. Gives you some eyes in the back of your head if you can have your sideline telling you what's happening.
Lewis and Leach working down the handler space.
Another split stack, but quickly it devolves into a bit of a flow movement from United. Quick pop to Lewis. And a big shot, a big cut from Clark, but not thrown to. He's a bit too covered.
To Leach. Into the middle.
Ireland with the big bid, getting some dirt on her jersey. Edwards patient with the disc. And then just decides to throw it right into Ireland's hand. Throw from Waller. But it's trailing away from Ireland. And the bid comes up, as we've come to expect from Ireland. Just not able to bring it in. Hits it away from her other hand.
Back to Lewis.
And
looking at dialogue for Clark.
It's a flat throw, very catchable height, but a dink out of his hand as well.
Big bid just bounced off.
It is really hard sometimes when you're running full pace, watching the disc, to remember to also then close your hand around the disc at the right time.
Especially at those speeds. A good bid from Clark.
That throw from Lewis was a very catchable height for a long time, but it just came out a little too fast. A little too fast.
All right, so Papapa now going to have to work it back up to their end zone. United putting match defense into middle to Ireland for the big.
Waller now with a little reset again in tiny space. We see a downfield cut from Mace to Ireland. And Ireland wanted that big put, but she keeps the disc and dumps it down the line. Really close to the camera here. Oh, Jenkins with a sniff on that, but didn't commit to the D. And Lewis has tried to cover that swing, but it is now being swung over to the other side of the field now. And a miscue. A miscue there, and a little one jink too many from Kwok. Mace not able to find the dump. Lewis walking up to pick up the disc, not in any rush. We've got a very close stack here. And it's a big cut from Koo, but it's too covered. And another little miscue. Oh, excellent take from Jenkins. I don't know if that throw went up for her, but she was there nonetheless.
She read the disc and was in the space.
And a cheeky throw to Lewis to score. That looked like it was more of an instinct throw from Jenkins there to score. That's a hold for United, so it's a hard-won hold.
Yeah, we had a few long shots going off.
We see a bid from Ireland there.
Edwards.
Edwards just not stepping out or reaching out to pop that pop pass away from her defender. Instead, just throwing it right into her defender's hand.
Here, Ireland. Just getting fingertips to the disc.
It is so frustrating when you touch the disc and you just make it harder for yourself, push it away.
Same for Clark. Same thing, going from end zone to end zone.
Good pursuit by Jenkins, not needing two hands. We get to see the score again, which kind of came out of nowhere. Her receiver streaking down to get into the end zone for her. A good execution from a late stall from Jenkins.
McFarlane for the pull for United.
So we've got a bit of a breeze picking up again now. It's always the way when you need to pull upwind, the wind picks up. We have Peter Bordsworth to receive, middling to Yo. We have looks like it's a bit of a switchy match defense. We've got two deep cutters, or two deep defenders, I should say, and not able to reel that in. Takes out Hansen, but she popped back up. Good positioning by Hansen, making him have to go early, have to go over her. She's tracking that disc down, and she just manages to get in the way.
Putting that pressure. Sometimes all you have to do is be there, and you're on the defense, and then it'll throw off the offense. So she managed to position herself well to put pressure on him to jump, and him not being able to catch it.
Good awareness by Hansen. It wasn't her player. She's still going to watch out for the more dangerous throws, the deep throws. Tiny space here from Lewis. A big circle cut. We love a circle cut. Crossfield to Clark. We've got McFarlane going deep, and I thought that was going to go up, but Clark able to recognize the defender got in the way. Lewis able to scoop that up. Being made to work hard by his handlers.
McFarlane with a disc.
Losing a bit of ground. Being pushed into their own end zone. Hansen looking downfield now. Edwards just always a very consistent dump there, supportive of her team.
Edwards again with a disc. Clark looking downfield.
It's very clumpy in the middle of the field here. We're seeing downfielders receive the disc and then and
a big bid.
Diving bid by Yo. A diving bid and a catch by him to turn the disc for Te Papapa. Just a little too complacent on the United side. Ireland looking big for the end zone to Ali. Easy money.
Score.
Ali to score. Te Papapa putting it away quickly after they get the turn.
Here you see the bid for Lewis.
And we see a Lemon not recognizing that Yo is willing to get in the way and dive for that D. A break side shot, Ireland unmarked, able to just send a nice easy backhand into Ali's hands.
Yeah, the United there were quite clumped on that sideline, not really finding the space for their downfield players, not managing to work it downfield where they wanted to.
I'd love to see a bit more, once the downfielders receive it and if they then dump it, I'd love to see a bit more of them turning around and checking to see if they're open again immediately afterwards, which opens up some give-go play. Because United's, a couple times they've gotten the disc, they've dumped it, they've turned around, they've tried to clear, but they're not necessarily clearing, and they're kind of taking away some throwing lanes. And if they're open in that lane, if they had awareness of where the disc was and they're looking over their shoulder, they might be able to be the next throw, just to create a bit more flow. So United working really hard, but maybe not being the most efficient they could be at the moment. Sometimes when you get tired, you just don't have the mental capacity to be thinking about that at all times, though. So understandable as this tournament goes on. But that mental game is what sets a lot of teams apart in terms of being able to maintain your focus over the course of the game.
And keeping your energy and your head up, that's what you want.
We have Lowe with the disc. Middling to Farnan. And to Doyle. Farnan and Doyle, Irish imports who've been in New Zealand for, I think, about a year now. And we have a deep player for United that's off screen. You can't see, but she's very open in the deep, not being marked by Sun. Sun now recognizing her there. Farnan unable to reel that in. A very, very short field. We have Hugo Swinson to pick up the disc. Starting from the top of the end zone, easy break, and that's a score to Bender.
Just over the top.
Bender with a little celebration there. Good commitment cut from Bender, knowing that Swinson had the break throw and was able to just pop it over. It can be really hard when you're marking the player who's walking up to the end zone line to throw. Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you don't recognize that the disc is in play quite soon enough, and before you've managed to put your mark on, they're already in the throwing motion. So we see just over the hands of the mark there, Swinson able to put it in.
And that's another break for Te Papapa, putting the score 11-7.
That's 2 breaks. That puts Te Papapa up 3 breaks actually. So it's a bit of a hill to climb here for United.
Timeout being called.
Probably by United, trying to stop the momentum of Te Papapa.
Wanting to regroup and kind of see what's working and not working for them and how to kind of keep their heads up as well, keep the energy going. Because in these moments, this is when your head can come down. You feel like it's too far, but it's not. There have been more turns by United, and it reflects on the scoreline as well.
Yeah, what do you want to be hearing if you're a player in the circle at the moment during a timeout? What do you want your leadership to be telling you?
I want to know what we're doing well, so that I know to keep doing that.
Some positive reinforcement.
You focus on what you're not doing well, and then you kind of forget what you are doing well, and kind of can get in your head sometimes. So just telling yourself, someone telling you, oh, this is what's been going well, and being like, okay, let's aim for that again, and that way you can work forwards. And then also being told what the other team is doing well, to kind of try and shut that down and recognize some of their plays. But overall, what I like to hear in that moment is something positive to just keep my spirits up. What about you?
I just like it to be concise. There can be a lot of voices in a timeout. If I'm gonna be given any advice, I need to make sure that I can focus on executing it. Don't tell me a million things. Give me one concrete thing I can do, and just let me catch my breath. Really.
Yeah, it's a good time to catch your breath. Get some water, especially after long points. It's just like too many thoughts in your head.
So we have United here prepping their offensive point. We've got Yo coming off the field after giving some instructions to his team.
He has scored 3, he's assisted 1. He's
disc hungry. He wants to create the movement on field that he thinks is required, and he's pretty good at it.
And he has created a few turns as well. So he is everywhere on the field. He wants the disc.
United, hopefully they can maintain their confidence in their teammates. This pull looks like it's sailing out as well. It's been coming up this side of the end zone and quite frequently. That wind just being enough to kick it out as disc goes up higher than the tree line and into a bit more of a windier spot and being pushed over.
It's a slight breeze, just slightly carrying it.
But yeah, I want United to not think that they have to trust that their receivers are still going to be there. Sometimes when you go down a couple breaks, you're more resistant to throwing anything that even looks a little bit covered. So they just need to maintain their trust in their teammates.
Farnan.
A zone again from Papapa. Martin in the middle she's looking for those through the wall shots that might open up. Now we're rotating Mance with the disc. Big fakes from Mance and a D from Patterson, but a call. Looked like it might have been a bit of a simultaneous grab from both players there. The players on the field are going to a perspective of one of the other players. We see it coming in now. A little bit of contact. No, kind of blocked by the bodies of the players, so we can't quite see.
It looks like they had both their hands uncontested.
So it looks like it's retracted. We see this at the player signaling a retracted foul, which means disc will stay with Patterson, and it is a turnover. So a short field again for Papapa. Patterson not with any cutters downfield yet, but quickly people are streaking downfield, looking to move it closer to the middle of the field. Ireland with some quick movement. She's got some great quick releases. And an open side shot to Matthews, but there was a pick that was called before the throw went up. That was some textbook swing, score.
Yeah.
See if they can do it again.
So that allows their downfield players, when you swing, to cut into that space. Also pulling their defenders with them.
Ireland trying to win on her legs and is able to take that. She really commits to getting that disc.
She really wanted it.
Her teammates knowing that she's going to lay out for it if she needs to and able to put it.
Just confidence in your teammates.
We've seen quite a few short field turns from United, so potentially them not using their long game enough. And we have some more information from the sideline here from Phil.
Yeah, I was again able to get into both huddles there. TP just reiterating that they want to bring more energy back. United, on the other hand, really focused on their structure at the moment. It's breaking down. They're not playing the disc as much as they want. One of the main things that came out of that is that they're cutting for the disc and not cutting to make space. They really want to get their structure back.
So United are going to be looking to make sure that they are making every cut count in terms of making space for their teammates and making sure that they're not clogging up the area. We've seen a bit of a somewhat stagnant offense from them occasionally. I mean, they're definitely willing to work hard, but just putting that energy in at the wrong time potentially.
You know, both teams taking their time on the line, trying to talk away through the next point, see what they can do.
Bit of a long point there for, in between points for United.
And now to Papapa will want to continue.
We've been hearing some calls of go TP from the sideline. People obviously not being able to get Te Papapa out easily when they're cheering. And we had a rolling pull, but it's been able to be centered to Lewis. Megan Edwards coming from downfield. Good attack on the disc by Chambers. Chambers indicating to her dump that she needs a cut. And a good pivot there by Chambers to throw to Leach.
To Koo.
Now we have Koo looking deep. Koo working hard for the disc, getting some give-go movement right on the end zone line. Importantly, looking towards the middle of the field, not staring downfield. Chambers able to send a big looping shot to Jenkins. Not able to be taken in.
With Big D.
That was a Jessica to Jessica shot there, or attempt.
That was a Big D from Polico.
Good recognition. Good recognition by Polico to get in the way.
Yeah, just got the bigger jump. All right, United are going to have to work hard to get that disc back now.
Swinson cutting from downfield. And a big shot up to Sun, but Lewis in the area. Sun taking it high. Lewis also had a hand to it, but it was not enough. 10 now, looking to Polico, I believe.
Polico scores.
Bookends for Polico. He got the D and the score. He'll be pleased.
And that's another break for Te Papapa.
Some good energy for Te Papapa. Lots of people running on, lots of congratulations. And a great take from Sun. Lewis was so close on that, but Sun had a secure grip on it. Great backup by 10. Comes in almost unmarked. That brings the score to 13-7, so it's getting close. That's 3 breaks in a row for Te Papapa. They're creeping closer to that 15-point score cap.
And that won't be easy for United to know.
Yeah, it's a lot of points and a lot of breaks that United need to put in if they're going to want to bring this game closer. Very possible.
There's still time. Anything can still happen.
Yes, we've still got about 18 minutes.
It's game to 100 minutes.
Oh, 28 minutes left in this game, so we've almost got half an hour left still. Plenty of time, but not as many points. So this, being the last pool game, will solidify the teams that are going to be going into the quarters. If you come higher in your pool, your quarter will be an easier game. So it can really make a big difference to the rest of your tournament. McFarland throws it into the defender, and such a quick score to Patterson.
That was a big D right in front of the end zone.
That was a that was a way to reward the pull. There's people. We had Kwok and Patterson chasing down the disc, put the defense on early, really stifled the first throws. McFarland tried to move them, thought he'd found a lane to throw to his handler, but was not able to complete it.
And they used that turn quickly, didn't wait. They saw each other.
We get to see that again.
So deep in the end zone.
Great adjustment from Patterson on the D there. That's bookends for Patterson now, which he's well aware of. He's keeping track as well.
They're just really aware of where the disc is. Backing each other up. Hit the D.
It just feels different when you have to throw the disc from that far into the end zone.
Yeah. It feels a lot further, and there's a lot more stress, I feel, because you don't want to get scored on in that end zone when you're on O. This managed to get out of the end zone, and just as it got out, it went right back in. That's another break for Te Papapa with a score of 14-7.
Te Papapa now on game point. So they are able to, they could finish this game out at this point if they end up getting a break. Big pull from Mace. Again, chasing down the disc on D. We've got Kwok at the head of this zone defense, trying to get in the way of these this handler movement. Edwards slowing down, swinging back to the other side. Mance looking downfield, but running out of times. And up to Farnan now. This little diamond shape up the front of the zone is making it hard, but over the top is available. But there's a lot of contact. It looks like Doyle wasn't even able to make a bid because of the contact by Bender, so there is a discussion.
Uncontested.
An accepted foul. Bender landing on Doyle a little bit.
So this still on to United.
Shows the importance of tracking the disc as well when you're on defense. That would have been a hard disc to take by Doyle, so. We have Bender coming in with the stall, but she's dropping off quickly. Doyle looking downfield.
To Mance.
Mance directing flow from upfield. It's just so hard to find lanes to throw it in between the front three players on D. They're creating a bit of a wall that's really hard to get around. It's forcing a lot of swings.
Pushing them back slowly.
We see Martin, number 15, in a good position for continuation if they can get it, if they can swing it, but they're just working it in the middle instead. Being pushed back bit by bit.
Being pushed back straight onto that sideline.
And we have Vaslet with the D there, taking it high to Ali, who sends it up to Vaslet, who's able to run it into the end zone, and that is game for Te Papapa. That was a very convincing half by Te Papapa.
They really came out strong and going break after break, not giving up.
They only let 1 point get away from them that half, so a very convincing game. United will be a bit disappointed that they weren't able to break that zone. Those over the tops were really quite floaty, and the deep able to recognize on the Te Papapa zone that they were able to come in and chase those. So not as tight a half as we would have liked, but some big plays
from both teams. Really put the pressure on, and I think they can be happy with their performance. And Te Papapa really made the most of that momentum and seemed just a little hungrier for that disc, going for all the bids and all the Ds.
Absolutely. So that's the last of the pool play here at the New Zealand Mixed Ultimate Championships. We're heading into our semis next. We'll have our next game coming in at 2:15 p.m. Share the link and continue watching these games as the tournament progresses.
And here you can see that United had 15 turns, and while Papapa only had 7.
Interestingly, there was a similar number of clean holds by both teams, but those breaks just unbeatable by Papapa.
8 breaks to 2.
Excellent. Well, thank you for joining us here, and we will see you at 2:15 for our next game. My name is Rachel Siahani Royal.
And I'm Zoe Decenber.
Have a good afternoon.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
ULTI.TV